Hale.
And I'm Alex, and we're going to do the Goodreads Tag.
Yeah, so I know this one's really old, but, well, it's almost the end of school for, like, until we have winter break, so, I mean, our motivation is not very high. I'm sorry. I do have one decent video coming out, but this one's just... I'm sorry. We tried.
We tried.
Anyways, I got new hair, so, I mean, that's a life update.
That's a plus.
Yeah.
I cut my hair, so, I mean, there's also that.
Yeah. But anyways, I guess we will proceed with the questions for Goodreads.
Yes.
So I have the questions on my phone because Alex got a new phone. I don't know if we mentioned that or not. But anyways, she did. So
yeah.
Now we have my phone. Here we go. So
Alright.
The first question is, what was the last book you marked as read?
Alright, so the last book I marked as read was Ghost Rider Travels on the Healing Road by Neil Peart. I had to read it for school, so it was like the last book I read.
The last book I had to read was actually for the same assignment. It was like a nonfiction assignment.
Yeah.
Mine was Hidden Figures. Turned into a movie, so like you probably know what it is. I hated the book, to be honest, but it's fine. It was a nice story.
Brutal.
I just hated it.
Yeah.
Which makes me sound like a terrible person.
It's okay.
Anyways.
It's okay.
Second question, what are you currently reading?
I'm currently reading Crooked Kingdom by Leah Bardugo.
I am currently reading 3 books. Which one of those is
Oh
you're
yeah,
also reading?
and also The Crucible.
Yeah, because we're reading that for school. So I'm reading that. I'm reading In Cold Blood by Truman Capote. Yes, it's been a month and a half, but you know what?
She's trying.
I've been busy. And then I'm also kind of reading A Discovery of Witches, but that's on hold right now because I have it as an ebook through the library because, you know what, I just don't buy books during the school year. It's kind of a lie, but I didn't really want to buy it. So it's when I can have it from the library, which I don't right now. So that's why it's on hold.
Exactly.
Number 3, what was the last book you marked as TBR?
Alright, so mine was One Dark Throne, which I own, but I just have not read it, and there's a lot of other things I have to add to my TBR, but we're just not there yet.
The last book that I added to my TBR was a book that I added yesterday, actually, and it was called Churchill and Orwell, The Fight for Freedom by Thomas E. Ricks. I know that sounds so fascinating, but I was at Barnes & Noble yesterday doing this whole like gift wrapping thing for a club, and I saw this book here, and I was like, wow, I really love Orwell, so I picked it up to like read the inside cover, and it actually sounds pretty interesting, so I'm gonna pick it up at some point. It's about how Churchill and Orwell impacted the World War II, which is not something I usually pick up, but I mean, anything for Orwell. Anything.
True.
And then number 4 is, what book do you plan to read next?
I plan to read Scythe by Neil Shusterman.
I plan to read Knights in Rodanthe by Nicholas Sparks, which if you remember from
The mystery book giving.
Yeah, like a month ago, that was the book I got, and I just haven't gotten to it because I've been reading In Cold Blood for the past month and a half.
At least I read The Summer I Turned Pretty.
Yeah, I'm getting to it soon, okay?
There will be a video on that in at least a month.
Yeah, soon enough.
Soon enough.
Just be ready. Number 5 is, do you use the star rating system?
Yes, I do.
I do too, however, I have this formula thing.
She has a whole breakdown.
Oh yeah, you should see it. Actually, no, you really shouldn't. It's kind of sad.
It is. The only thing I do is half stars or like quarter stars, but like...
No, I do the math.
She like literally breaks it down. I'm like,
yeah.
Alright.
Anywho. Number 6 says, this is a really old tag, so it actually said, are you doing a 2014 reading challenge? So it's not 2014 anymore, but I did do one then.
For 2017. For 2017, we both did a reading challenge. I had 40 books, which I surpassed.
I had 30, which I've gotten 6 books more than that so far.
I have 3 past the 40, and then we plan to do one in 2018, obviously.
7 is, do you have a wish list?
No.
I don't either. Not on Goodreads. I didn't even know that was
I
a
like
function.
know it like in my, like I just look at my TBR and I'm like, okay, like I want this book, and this book.
I mean, I have a shelf called To Buy.
Yeah.
Does that count?
Close enough.
It's good enough.
Yeah.
Number 8 says, what book do you plan to buy next?
Alright. Because it's almost Christmas time, like I know I'm getting a couple books for Christmas, so there's not a lot that I have to buy. But the one I do want to buy is All Rights Reserved, because I think that'll be really interesting.
Yeah, I'm not buying any. I'm actually banned because I've bought 4 in the past 3 weeks.
It's alright.
Number 9, that's where we're at. Do you have any favorite quotes? Would you like to share a few?
Alright, so I have the quote from Akamath, which is to the stars who listen and the dreams that are answered. The quote from Six of Crows, which is, no mourners, no funerals, which I think is just like, it's like their way of saying goodbye. It's really interesting. And then Augie's precept at the end of Wander, which is, everyone deserves a standing ovation at least once in their life, and I think about that like a lot, so.
Oh, that's cute. Mine are kind of dark, to be honest, I'm not gonna lie.
Well, No Mourners, No Funerals is pretty dark.
The one's about cancer.
Oh, well, is it A Monster Calls?
No.
No. Throw it in there.
So the first one I have is The Pleasure to Burn by Fahrenheit 451, because that's one of my favorite books ever, and I just thought, I just remember reading that sentence, and I was like, yes. And next one I have is from Tale of Two Cities, which I also love, despite the fact that like so many people hate it, but you know what, I liked it. Best of times, it was the worst of times, it was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. And then the last one I have, this is the cancer one, is by poet Dylan Thomas, which the whole poem is absolutely, it's one of my favorite poems ever. But the line goes, "Do not go gentle into that good night, rage, rage against the dying of the light," which is about his father dying of cancer and him telling him to like be brave about it.
Terrifying. Great.
I told you it was depressing.
It is.
It's such a fantastic poem though. I definitely recommend it if you like poems. And number 10, who are your favorite authors?
Alright, so my favorite authors are pretty straightforward. Sarah J. Maas, J.K. Rowling, Rick Riordan, because why not? And then probably a new, there's two more probably. So Maggie Steph Vader, I really enjoyed The Raven Cycle, and then a newer edition, which I've only really read one of his books, but I really loved it, like, favorite book of the year, Adam Silvera.
Okay, so my favorite, I can just give you my favorite author of all time and then give you a couple others, but my favorite author is Neil Gaiman. I really need to figure out how to pronounce his last name, but he is my man. I will read anything he writes. No, I haven't read that much by him, but like I intend to read everything that he's ever written by the time I die. And then I also like Sarah J. Maas. Who else do I even like? Paolo Bacigalupi I like, although he has some really dark stuff and gritty stuff. That's probably not age appropriate. Ransom Riggs I like a lot. I like Tahira Mafi. I'll read her stuff. Number 11, have you joined any groups?
Alright, I've been in groups for years, like since we've joined Goodreads in 2014. And I've been in these groups and I'm never active in them, and I think the activity in them is like from last year. So I just need to leave them, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Like that's an effort that I haven't put in.
I am not currently in any groups right now, but when I first started Goodreads, I was really into several groups, but I think the biggest one I was into was a selection roleplay, which I was...
She dragged me into it and I'd never read the selection.
No, you didn't, and you didn't even participate in the roleplay.
Nope.
But I did. I had friends, and they still follow me on Goodreads. Not that we really communicate anytime, but like, I have fond memories with them. And number 12, so this is just kind of like a, do you want to add anything else? So, since it's the end of the year, Goodreads releases this thing that's basically like your journey in books for the year. So we're just going to share our results for that, even though like it's not quite the end of the year. Close enough. So I'll share mine first.
Alright.
So I read 13,247 pages across 36 books, which, yeah, that's not that much, but it's fine.
It's enough.
In 2015 I read like 54 books, so like I don't know where that girl went. It's fine. Actually, I do know where she went. She did not have AP classes then.
Went into high school. That's what happened.
My shortest book was Tales of the Peculiar by Ransom Riggs, which is very good. Although I'm salty that he added another book after I bought the book. Whatever, my hardcover's prettier. And then my longest book was A Court of Wings and Runes, which was 699 pages. Why couldn't she have added one more page?
Because she's Sarah. That was the same length as Empire of Storms. I almost said Empire of Shadows.
Whatever, it irritates me.
Yeah, I know.
My average length is 378 pages. The most popular book I read was Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. And my least popular book I read was The Demon in the Freezer. My average rating for 2017 is 3.9, which is down 4 from last year, actually. I told myself I was going to be more critical this year, and I've been successful. The highest rated I have on Goodreads is Echo War, which got a 4.52 average. Yes, I know it won the award, and honestly, I didn't agree with that. But my first review of the year, I think this is kind of funny, but my first review of the year was Funny Farsi, which I gave 3 stars. And the most recent review I've done, which would be the last review of the year so far, Sin Figures, which I also gave 3 stars. I think that's it for me.
For the year? How many books did you read?
Oh, I read 36 books.
Alright, so for my year, I read 15,981 pages across 43 books. My shortest book was 180 pages. It was The Great Gatsby. My longest book was Lord of Shadows by Cassandra Clare. It was 701 pages, so why couldn't she have just eliminated 1 page? Another one of those. My most popular was The Great Gatsby, and my least popular was Rhett Link's Book of Mythicality. My average rating was 4.3, which is down 3 from last year.
You got a 4.6 last year?
I was a 4.6 for 2015 and 2016.
Oh my god.
I like had a problem with rating books badly, and then I got over that.
Everything was 5 stars.
It was basically like 4 and 5 stars, and then I got over that. My highest ratings on Goodreads for this year is Lord of Shadows at a 4.55, which I believe also won. No,
I don't think it did.
No, it didn't, because Aqua.
Yeah.
My first review of the year was it was Under the Lights. I gave it a 4.75, which I rounded up to 5. My last review of right now is Ghost Rider, which I gave 3.5 stars. I've read 43 of my 40 book challenge, and what really makes me happy is I started with Under the Lights by Abby Glines, and then finished my book challenge with After the Game by Abby Glines. So in the series, I was very happy.
Anyways, that's it for this video. So we'll see you next week.
Bye!